Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first ever episode of Annyeong Station's UA. My friend Nitya and I will take this live show forward, and we are absolutely excited to share our love for K-pop with everyone. We also have two special guests to share their love as well shortly. So let's get it started. Firstly, we like to talk about how this paradigm shift to K-pop happened in the world and why we love it. So over to Nitya to talk about her experiences and how K-pop conquered the world.
Okay. Hi everybody. This is the first, as Anusha mentioned, the K-pop live that we're having in Annyeong Station, and I'm going to start with how I started to know K-pop. So I came across a Tamil dub Korean drama which was broadcasted in one of the Tamil channels about 6 7 years back. So that was my first experience. Like I didn't know that was actually Korean. It was like Asian people speaking in Tamil, so it was kind of weird at the start. But then I started to get to know, and then I met another friend, and then that was how I started to know about Korean dramas, and I got into K-pop. So and it again, a lot of people, the starting point of K dramas is like Boys Over Flowers for many people here. So Anusha would say a different story, but for me it was Boys Over Flowers, and then through that I got into many K dramas, and through that was the place where I started to find out what K-pop is and K music is. So uh, Anusha will also tell her about her experience of how she found out about K-pop.
So K-pop for me was a new word in 2012. I got to know about K-pop in 2013. So officially, but unofficially, what happened was, K-pop is like I felt how I came into K-pop is absolute destiny because in 2010 and stuff, in 2010 we had channels like Star World and other The Cafe. So in such channels, I used to watch only American TV shows, and after the show, there will be advertisements and stuff. During the advertisement, there was one song by a group of Asian boys singing "Fly to Seoul." And I didn't know what language it was. I didn't even know it was Korean, but we'd unmute that advertisement and watch. It was actually mind blowing. And in 2013, I was very young and I annoyed my sister like crazy because I was young and she was pretty old. In college, she really wanted me to stop yapping about stuff, so she just gave me her tablet and made me watch one show, and that show is City Hunter. And since then, I've been absolutely obsessed. Everyone. K-pop, K-drama has been a major part of my passion, hobbies. I'm learning Korean now, just like Nitya is. So, Nitya, would you like to tell about why everybody likes K-pop?
Yeah. So the start of K-pop is like that's how I found out that there are like groups, and there are girl groups and boy groups, and there are solo artists, and the whole fandom culture was how I was introduced through K-pop, like how people follow the people, the groups, and they enjoy their music. They follow their shows, or the talk shows they go on to, or the dramas they do, or the movies they do. And so that was like a huge ocean of new stuff that came to me about a few years back. So uh, there was a particular group that caught my attention, and that was how I started to learn Korean also. That was like a starting point. Like I wanted to know what they were saying, so I found out about Inco Center, and I started to study Korean also here. It was all like a flow of events that happened from the moment I found out about what K-pop was. So that had got me to this point of now me hosting a live about K-pop itself, That is a huge, an event that has happened like in each phase of life. So uh, in K-pop there are a lot of types of people. Like they just enjoy the music. There are people who like follow the idols for their personalities, or there are also some people who take inspiration from what they do, and how when they hear about each idol's backstory of how they have had for a lot of hardships and how they have gone through a journey to become famous, or portray their talents and get into this world stage. So that has inspired me myself, and it showed me like how hard work how much hard work they do to make their fans happy, or how much they invest their time and emotions and energy to like show what they have, and write songs and make a lot of new like so
Has become a way of
yeah.
life, really,
Yeah.
more than just fashion.
Yeah. So that has like I would say like kind of shaped me too. It's also been a part of my life. So a major part, I would say, from being an introvert in school and to getting new friends. Like through this fandom, I have a lot of friends all over the world. Like I've met them through this group. So this group which I like is like this K-pop group, or just generally K-pop, has opened a new door for me to like interact with people around the world, and try like wanting to travel to these places. Like obviously every K-pop girl's major dream would go to Seoul and meet their idol through a fan meet or a fan sign, or go to their concerts. And that has like given us a new hope to work hard. We can keep ourselves motivated. And I think that has also played a huge part in each and every one of our lives who followed K-pop. So many people would like think of this as an obsession, but I would not call this an obsession. This would like more of an inspiration too. Like
Yeah.
this would give us a new way to keep ourselves motivated, not keep ourselves like always engaged in doing something, or finding out new things about everybody. So I think that's a good way in which K-pop has taught me a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it sure is a warm cup of cocoa that
Yeah.
helps us forget our worries.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Especially in a world where we are pressurized to be perfect.
Yeah.
They emphasize us to be just who we are, because that's beautiful.
Yes.
The South Indian industry, like, perfected pop production. They have catchy tunes. They have super talented people. They practice their whole lives exactly hard work, which basically inspires us to be a better version of ourselves as well. And I personally feel why they were able to steal hearts is because we, without knowing, incline a lot on their lives, actually, the lives that they lead. So the greater they are at heart, the more fans actually fall for them, because our minds wander for a role model to rely on, and their good deeds make us influence and, yeah, therefore push us to be very nice people. Even in daily life, I feel if I do something and I think, will girls' generation Sohyun be happy if I did this? Totally. So I think I became more kind. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And I think that would like go to the shining minhas. There's a saying that he said, like how the fans and the idols, they're like a mirror image of each other. So we kind of try to our acts, or our thoughts, or the way we speak kind of also mirrors the way we've seen idols on TV and on our phones and all the shows we've seen.
Yeah. And NCT's new song "Beautiful" released recently. I got so many goosebumps because they emphasize the importance of waiting for our time to shine and not be impatient, because just the way we are is already perfect. And IU also stated this in many of her interviews as well.
Yeah.
Now we'll head on to milestone highlight.
Yes.
Okay.
Mom and dad. Sorry.
Yes. The both of us, Nitya and I, started K-pop through Infinite, me through Girls' Generation. But K-pop rooted in the 1990s itself, and we currently believe that BTS is the biggest phenomenon, and the reason for them to come this huge, I feel, is also because of first generation groups like Soteji and Boys, HOT and Finkel. The first ever band, Soteji and Boys, did not gain a lot of popularity because it was new to Korea. Because Korea was very used to trot and such music. But Soteji, a young lad, was dreaming of becoming an artist like how it works in America. So he wanted to create music that was America influenced. But Korea was not open to that new style of music then. But it didn't dampen his enthusiasm. He joined Yang Hyun Suk. A lot of people might know him. He is the founder of YG Entertainment, which is home to Blackpink, Big Bang, and many bands as such. So he teamed up with him and an artist called Lee Juno to become a trio and give holistic performances like how we see in K-pop today. Little did they know that their idea would be worth millions of dollars, and they became an overnight sensation because of a competition that they entered. Although the judges put them in the last place, the audience truly took the essence of their performance, and in one night, they everybody knew them because they were such legends overnight.
So I think that is like a stepping stone, for the K-pop to bloom to what it is now. Okay, and like Korea's, they have a concept of soft power, right? Soft power is how they have become famous all around the world with their tourism and K-pop. So I think that is a really huge phenomenon that's been happening.
Totally.
So
And many people might not know their. People might actually think Blackpink is the first band to go to Coachella, but we already have Epic High. They've been to Coachella, and in fact, they've been invited to Coachella again.
and yeah.
Yeah. And then Super Junior, despite having 15 years of experience, they're still bang on stage. They've dived into Latino pop and are still successful entering the Billboard. So there are many other bands who
Yeah.
are just as very talented as the current third gen groups in the limelight. And I hope you all explore into their variety shows and the performance that they portray.
So next is going to be a very interesting segment. So we're going to invite one of my friend who I've studied Korean with along in Inco Center. So she is a really amazing artist, and she's going to talk about her inspiration of how she got into K-pop and how it has helped her in her way to art. So over to Radha.
Hi guys, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Nitya, for that intro. And Nitya and I used to learn Korean together. I think a couple of years back, and then due to the whole COVID pandemic situation and work, I couldn't really continue much. But I mean, I really miss those days. Sitting together in class and trying to learn the language. And so I think if I were to like go back and choose, that point in life where I want to revisit, I think that would be me going go and learning Korean, because it was like the closest I could get to the feel of being in Korea and experiencing the entire soul of Korea here. And yeah, it was like really magical those days. And like Anusha rightly pointed out, even for me, K-pop was like it was not like a very natural thing, but I thought it was destined to, because actually a couple of my friends, they've always been into K-pop, like big time into K-drama and K-pop, and they'd be listening to these groups and watching dramas like throughout college. Okay, so this is like 4 years of time that I'm talking about, and never I have had this thing to understand or try to like look into what they're viewing. And then it so happened that it was my actually not even final year, my third year, and I happened to listen to one song. So it's I could like totally relate. Okay, so it's like how I go on convincing people to be like just one song, and then you'll understand what I'm trying to
Yeah.
So that moment was there, and then I was I think the first song was Dope from BTS in 2015 September, and I think that was like the beginning of something that really changed. Yeah, it really is like it's destined, because I was like literally blown away with the whole choreo aspect of it, and then it got me intrigued, and then I wanted to get to know more. And then the song that impacted me more, Dope was more of the choreo, but the song that really got me involved was Valiant, where Rapmon talks about the lonely whale, and how he can relate to it, and how he feels alienated with his thoughts. And I was just like mind blown. I'm just like, oh my god, like there's finally someone out there who resonates with the way I do. And then I happened to read his poem that he had written at the age of 12, and I will share it on my story, and you guys can probably tag it, and I urge all of you to like give it a read. I mean, someone who can write something so beautiful and in depth at the age of 12, I was like blown away. And it was like I was like famous for falling in love with people who were like dead and gone. Okay, like so my crushes were like Buddha and Vivekananda or some artists. So I'm an art history student, so I'll be falling in love with these, having crushes with these artists who are long gone dead. Okay, and then the first time I had this huge crush, yeah, like real life crush, like someone who's actually in bones, and that was that
He's
moment.
alive right now in front of you, so
Yeah,
I can see your T-shirt. I was going to mention that.
so that was like the beginning of my, where I could be like, okay, so it's not just Tarzan or Buddha. I can actually fall in love with humans in my
someone
age.
who's in flesh. And
Yeah.
I still remember Radha, like talking about rap bond during our classes and all her. Every time our teacher says something, she would be like, "You have to listen to that. You have to listen to what he said." I still remember that.
So, I think, yeah, easily, I think he's like the best thing that happened to me, and like just getting to know him and as an idol, and listening to him and his music, the way he writes, and it didn't just stop there. Okay, so and then it's the 6 other guys, and then BTS as a whole. I mean, it's just I can't express with words, the kind of impact they've had on me as a person. I've changed a lot as a person to begin with, and I'm so grateful for that. And rightfully so, they've also impacted in my art, because I'm not even this talkative, and I'm actually very introverted, and I fear talking to people, and I'm just like to myself. But they kind of really help me break all those barriers, and they kind of actually beautifully blended into my art as well, which I'll talk about more. But I think that was the start of K-pop for me, and I'm just happily still dwelling in the realm of just BTS. It's just BTS and BTS. I can't just get enough of
I think that happens to each fangirl, when they go into K-pop and they fall in love with the group, it changes them as a person as a whole. Like they find out new things about themselves that they wouldn't have, they didn't knew that it was there.
Yeah, I think the whole change happened with me physically also. So back in college, when I got introduced to them, I was over 60 kilos. So I used to be like more round. And then I was like, no, but I can't be this way. Like I've never put any effort to impress anyone in my life so much. And I'm like, okay, but this
We
can't
don't
be
even
it.
know we exist, but we do so
Yeah.
much for them.
So, yeah, I'm just like, no, but this can't be. Like, what if I meet him and I can't be like this, you know? Like, I should be like more presentable. And I lost 15 kilos.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm just, and then there are days when I used to, it was not any random workout, but I used to try and learn their choreos. And it's like the best kind of workout I could have asked for. So it's like, also the best time simply because I'll fangirl and I'll be working out. So it's like the best way to work out, you know?
Totally. We'll have fun
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah, it'll be like a 4 or 5 hour sessions where I'll just sweat it out, fangirl, and then thanks to them again, I could lose 15 kilos, and that's how Inco happened to me as well. And I'm so grateful. That's again such a beautiful thing that happened to me because of BTS. And actually, that also was very dramatic because I was like, okay, this is not happening. I have to learn this language because if the translated version can make the music feel so good and I can connect it so much. Imagine me understanding it in the language that it's written. So I was like very like I made up my mind because initially I wanted to learn calligraphy because obviously art, and I wanted to explore the medium as an art thing. But then after BTS, I'm like, I think I want to learn the language first, and that's the first step was to be like, okay, now where do I go learn Korea? Like people are like, they have absolutely no idea about the language, and it was still like back then. Now it's like it's come
Yeah, now
really a long way.
when
But
we
back
were
then,
learning, it was still new to many
back
people.
then
Like,
it was
why
very
Korean?
very new culture, and like I still have to be answerable like why Korean. But like back then it was even more harder, and I remember I was like so nervous, and I went on Google and I searched, and there were only 2 cities that offered Korean language, and one was in Delhi and the other one was in Chennai, and I was jumping up and down. I remember I was like in like one cloud nine moment, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going. And it was like I think 10 minutes away from my home in Ko. So I used again like it's still, yeah, it's all like coming back memories.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, the
after
moment we found it was near our house, we used to drive on and
I know. And then I enrolled, and I used to walk and go to college and class in Co. And then I think it was like my first year of work. I joined in Co. And then I used to finish work, and then like 5:30, I'm just like I'm out. Like all Tuesday, Thursdays, I'm just like there's no stopping. And people at work also knew, okay, like they can't mess with me and BDS or anything related to me and Korean. So they'll be like, okay, you can go. So
Tuesdays and Thursdays were 6 p.m. so very crucial for us back then.
I know.
Like going to Inco at 6 p.m. was like.
I used to go to Inco even if I had exams the next day. Bye exams.
That was like we can't miss our classes at Inco at all.
Totally.
Exams, no problem. Work meetings, no problem. Family functions, no problem. I'll be there at Inco.
No leave. I think we'd have 100% attendance every time we have a class going on at Inco.
I know.
Such a safe haven from all the other extra activities. Like, keep them aside. Here I am.
Yeah,
it brought us more closer to Korea. As like Radha
seriously,
said,
it was like the closest I could feel to be in Korea, close to. Yeah, so that's how Inco happened to me. And and there are like so many other beautiful things that's happened to me because of K-pop and BTS in particular. And I think a big thank you I should tell to Kavya, my friend, who actually got me into this thing. And I'm so happy that I have been as an army able to spread whatever beautiful thing these guys are creating to so many other armies. I like the sort of excitement people when they connect and they come back to me and they're like, oh my god, like what have you introduced me to? Like I'm so thankful, and thank you for this, and thank you for the guys. And I'm like, yeah I can like totally relate to it. So that's how the whole story started for me. And so that's kind of in a way started streaming into my art also that way. And as usual, like for me, it began with me sketching and trying out their portraits. And, I used to like just randomly sketch. And there are like actually a lot of these sketches that I've done, but like I could like share a few. Probably I'll post a few on my page, and you guys can have a look and give me your feedbacks. But it started with their sketches of their portraits, and but slowly what got me more involved was the lyrics, the kind of things that I could really connect with. And I started creating art with the lyrics. And there are these parts in the song that you kind of resonate the most with, or it's like it always pulls the string.
Keeps coming up in your mind.
Yeah, it's just like you can never forget that, and it's a different feeling. It just gives you something, it takes you, transports you elsewhere. So I had chosen few, and actually it's kind of like a project that I wanted to do, where I did, because generally also my art, I do type based illustrations a lot. And I also do Indian art inspired illustrations and artwork, mainly into Buddhist art. Like I told you before, Rapon happened, Buddha was my biggest ever crush. So all my artworks are based on Buddhism. Yeah, and then Buddha had to take a back seat after Rapon coming into the picture, for which most of my friends were relieved. They were like, okay, at least she is in love with someone who's living. So they're like, that's an advancement, and we let you be. So my artwork in general is mostly, Indian architecture and Buddhist art. But beyond that, it's mostly symbolic, and it's a lot of symbols that I bring in. And it's not very like a traditional painting that way, but more symbolic with a lot of symbols and all. And I kind of incorporated that style with bringing in their lyrics as well. And I think it's like one of the most exciting personal pet projects that I've worked for in a really, really long time. And I've been compiling it for I think over 4, 5 years now. So it's like the lyrics that are closest to me, I've kind of documented it, and I'm working on this thing. And hopefully one day I can present it as a whole. But I wanted you guys to have a look at few. I've never really shared this with anyone, but I'm so happy to be sharing it with you guys here today.
Glad that you shared. They look amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I mean, it's like it's very, very close to me, and I don't think I've shown it to anyone, actually, to be very honest. And I'm just like super excited. I thought people who share the same love as I do can resonate and receive it. So more than happy to be showing it to you guys. And it's like an ongoing project, and hopefully one day it'll get big, and I can have it exhibited. Yeah, I'll exhibit it, and I'd love to have you guys there, and viewing it in person. But that's been like the journey so far. It's like a project that I've been into it for a very, very long time. I've actually had conversation about this with Radhi ma'am as well. And my head is mostly up in the cloud, okay, when I'm just thinking of these ideas. And then I'm just like talking to ma'am, and I'm like, ma'am, there's this band, and I want them to come over and probably see this when I'm exhibiting. And then she was like, oh, okay, rather nice. Who are you talking about? And I'm like, BTS. And she's like,
that would be a major dream come true.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Oh, you want the biggest boy band right now in the world to come down?" And okay, sure. Like, I'm like, yeah, mom, I want them to come.
One can dream, right? One can dream.
Yeah, there's no limit, right? Why would you limit your imagination? So I was like, I mean, so far it's been a dream, but hopefully one day it will get true. And I'm just like putting it out in the universe. Yeah, so more K-pop love into that thing, and then it comes true. But that's been my journey so far.
Okay. Thank you so much, Radha, for sharing your experience. It's been really nice to hear what you had to say. And it was my pleasure. So next segment is what we actually shared a form through Inco. So we had asked people to tell us what they had liked about the idols they follow, and what is that something that they have learned, or some interactions they've had. So over to Anshay.
So yeah, just like Nitya said, we sent out K-pop surveys. Just like how we had our stories, I'm pretty sure a lot of them have such stories, and probably more inspirational than mine. So the first one that touched my heart really was how Navina went ahead to choose her major because of Shiny. I wonder how much Shiny really made an impact in her heart. She says she's a final year psychology student, and Jonghyun really inspired her. So one day I really hope Navina goes to South Korea and truly change the lives of many. And another story that I was really fond of was how she was inspired by Infinite Dongwoo. He kept his bills so that he could pay his parents back. Such filial piety is totally appreciated, because not a lot of people are very grateful to their parents, I feel, at least for teenagers my age. So yeah, I more than, yeah, just like how I learned from K-pop artists, I feel I also learned from these people who share their stories, because every person I meet has a different story, and I always learn something from them. Yeah.
So I think that kind of shows how K-pop inspires a lot of people, and not just idols have different stories, even their fans, they have different stories of how they've taken up their own jobs, or what kind of majors they've taken, or how they're going about their lives. So that is what I'm just repeating once again, that like K-pop is not just an obsession to people. You cannot portray it like that. It actually changes people's lives, and it gives a lot. It just, we receive a lot, and the way we repay is how it differs from people to people. Some they want to like what Radha said, she wanted to like show her works to RM and the BDS, and then she wanted to like hopefully that happens, Radha, don't worry.
Surely will happen.
Yeah, at least they would like notice your artworks, and you would get a chance. So next segment is a pretty exciting one myself. So Radha had mentioned that one of her friend was the reason she had got into K-pop. So I'm going to present my reason of why I'm into K-pop right now, and she's going to come and speak up. She's my best friend, and we have been standing this group called Infinite for the past 6-7 years, and we luckily had a chance just at the brink start of Corona, that we had a chance to go and meet one of the members of the band, and over to Bhavna to speak about her experience about in detail.
Hello, everyone. And Nitya, thank you for the sweet introduction. So my story is, I initially got into Korean dramas and Korean movies back in 2011-12, like just like most of you here. And then I got introduced to K-pop mainly by the idol actors who were very active in the drama scene back then, like FX, Shiny, and Super Juniors. So since then, I've always been a huge fan of second generation groups up until now, actually. So one day I saw this drama called My Lovable Girl, and then I see this guy for the very first time, a very cute looking blonde guy. I Google him up, and he turns out to be Infinite's L, also known as Kim Young-suk. And 2 months later, I saw another drama, and again, I liked the leads, and turns out they are also part of the very same group. So I thought, okay, this must be destiny. And then I started listening to their music. I saw all their shows. I guess we both actually we saw all their shows within a month, and that too like 2 months before our 12th board exams. And just because 1 month to become a proper baby in spirit. And since then, it's always been our dream, and top things on our bucket list is to go and attend their concert, or at least their fan meet in Korea. And then fast forward 5 years, life happened. So many things happened with Infinite as well. They were under a very long hiatus for a very long time. And there were changes with respect to members as well. People were enlisting, people were leaving the company and moving to other places. So we knew it was next to impossible for us to see all the 7 guys together on one stage. So then we also compromised our dream and we thought, okay, as long as we see every single person, either by means of solo concerts, whatever, it's enough, Yeah. So, but then my first concert experience was actually here in Chennai. We got to see JJCC's concert. And we didn't know much about them when we got our tickets, but I'm so glad we went ahead and bought that because the concert was amazing. They were such amazing performers, and they knew how to connect to Indian audience as well. And their fan service was also above par.
They performed lungi dance also during one of the concerts, so it was really fun.
So we had a total blast that night, and after that event, our desire to attend Infinite's concert like grew much more. So then. Again, back to 2019, we were like now ready as long as we were just waiting for one of the members to announce our fan meet, and we knew we had to go this time. So luckily, my bias, Kim Yong-soo, he announced his Asian fan meet tour. So as soon as we heard that, we knew we were going this time. And our top places was, our priority places was Singapore and, or the second one was Bangkok. But then to our shock, he had announced Philippines and Macau, which was just not in our list. And we had 1 week to decide if we're going to go to either of these places or just wait until they announce Singapore and Thailand, which we were not sure if they would. So we convinced our parents and then we booked Macau tickets. And the day of booking our tickets we were on cloud 9 that day. And one other friend also decided to join us. So 3 of us we decided to go for the event. And 1 month later, on Jan 2nd, we flew to Macau. The actual fan meet was on Jan 5th. So we had a day to ourselves. We went around the city. And then the next day, we tried to catch a glimpse of him at the airport, but our plan failed miserably. Instead, we met a group of Chinese inspirits. So they are extremely warm and kind. Yeah, that's them. We met them at the airport. So they were all excited when they knew that we came all the way from India just to attend this event. So then next day, which is the D-Day, so we went to the venue very early. We had actually gotten the tickets with the highest number of bucks. So apart from the event, we also had a high-touch event. We also had the chance to take a group picture with him. And we also won a signed poster. Yeah. So we collected our posters. We went inside. I think we were one of the first people to enter the venue because we went in so early. And I could literally hear my heart beating so hard because this very moment I've been imagining in my head all like over and over again for about 6-7 years now. And for me to be actually experiencing it feels so surreal. So we got seated and soon he appeared on the stage like a star that he is. And he started singing. He sang about 5 songs and there were many activities in between. And I think the event lasted for 1.5 hours. And after the event ended, we went up for the high touch event. So I literally held on to him. And then I told him everything I had ever wanted to tell him. He had this clear confusion on his face.
Yeah.
Just thanked me in the end.
Like 2 Indian fans, like yapping loudly in broken Korean to him. He was definitely terrified, I am sure.
But at least he now knows he has Indian fans.
Yeah. So yeah, I still remember like as soon as Bhavana finished her high touch, she literally was crying when we were queuing up again for the group picture, and she was like having tears in her eyes. Like this is something she had like wanted for so many years, and finally see your idol in flesh in front of you, so at such close proximity was like. It still feels surreal that I've actually met him. Like we have to again go see our pictures, this picture again and again to realize that we actually went and saw one of the members.
The memories in life, when you just think back, it always puts a smile on your face. This event was definitely one such thing for us. So yeah, after the high touch event, we went in once again for the group photo. That's when we took this picture. So even there, I tried to strike a conversation with him and he replied to us with a cute tone and like aegyo and all that. So people just went crazy when he did that. That was probably one of my favorite interactions in the whole fan meet. And after this, we waited until he left the venue and then we went back to our rooms. We treated ourselves to some soju and we were just like reminiscing the day, the event, and what a magical day it was. So yeah, that's our story.
So we'll just show you a couple of videos that was taken during the fan meet. Excuse the pixels and shaky pictures because there were a lot of bodyguards there during that time. Actually, a lot of Indian bodyguards. So we couldn't like really take long pictures.
You're not allowed to take pictures, actually.
Yeah. So we were like, everybody kept staring at us, and then we had to make sure that it was hidden. And so this is the first time like we didn't understand what was happening on the stage except for what Byung-soo was speaking. So thank God we actually knew some Korean, so we knew at least what he was speaking than the other people. So this was during the end of the fan meet that Bhavna had mentioned that we had a small glimpse of him after the fan meet had ended. So you can see the number of fans who had come. That was the last time we saw him on that day. So, so yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed the session today. And if you have any questions to be asking, you can just leave us in the comments. And there's also going if you there's a
The Human Spirit, a virtual Indo-Korean ceramic glass exhibition is taking place currently, hosted by Inco Center. The exhibition will go on till 31st of March. So please go ahead and get to witness a very aesthetic exhibition.
Yeah, you can find the link of it in the comment section.
Yeah, I must add here that whatever efforts Inco takes to showcase in the gallery, it's just amazing. It's too beautiful. So any of you interested, I think it's such a pity that we can't actually go visit because in the venue it's like truly magical, but you can still witness it. And I think everyone here should definitely go ahead and
yeah, I mean, we used to have that as a part of our in-course classes, that we would like have to spend an hour in the exhibitions that were happening, and we've met lots of Korean and Indian artists equally that they were
extremely inspiring, actually. Yeah, so all you
also had artists paint there, actually.
Yeah,
we got to witness two people, on the floor. They were painting. It was so magical, and there was music also going on. So
I still remember one of these events where I was like trying to talk to this Korean artist, and she was so sweet. And like when I get more excited, my Korean gets even more broken. Okay, whatever little Korean
happens all the time.
Yeah, and she was so happy to like she was thrilled by the fact that I'm actually learning Korean for to understand. And she's like, you know what, you come with me, I'll take you to Korea.
So cute.
Very sweet. Even though we didn't like understand each other's language properly, we still communicated with them and had a really good time.
Yeah, that was so sweet of her. She said, come with me, I'll take you to Korea. I'm like, yeah, I can come right now. So, yeah. That was good.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining. It was such a pleasant time in the middle of a pandemic to connect and share experiences.
Yeah, truly.
So if there's any questions that you would
Yeah.
like to ask, then you can just paste in the comment section that we just. So yeah, thank you all for joining, and for those who have joined the Zoom call. And okay, somebody has asked a question, right?
Weirdest question is still fine.
Has asked some.
Probably, do you like North Korean pop or South
Yeah,
Korean?
yeah, that is like I think everybody would ask. First thing they'll ask,
Totally.
and I don't know why only North Korea is there in their minds. There is
Yeah.
like as if the part of South is has vanished in their maps. So,
Even we are part of the south of India, guys.
Yeah.
so that is we like I think we've been teased a lot. So I think that we before used to be very worked up, but now we just take it.
Yeah.
It used to get us really worked up like 6 years back, and I probably lost a lot
I
of
think
friends.
it's Nitya, I think it's also like the level of frenziness you be in when you're into the fandom, and then a few years into the fandom, and then you just attain that zen level where you're excited for them, but you're just in that zone, like how.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I feel like
first time, when you see some updates, you'll be like, jumping up and down in a house. Now it's like
yeah,
we've
just
grown up now.
yeah.
So that's also been a part of our life. So that has been really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Bhavna ourselves have got a lot of.
I'm getting a lot of that zen vibe from Bhavna also. She's
Yeah.
even my
Calm and composed, but we were not like that 6 years back. Trust me, Radha.
Definitely not. I was literally jumping when Songyu came to India for
Yeah.
shooting Fluttering India. And that too, he came to Mumbai. It has nothing to do with us, but I was still jumping.
Yeah.
I can totally relate. I think I'll pass out. At least you guys were like you could stand there and do something. I think for sure would be like I'll pass out.
Radha will be like, she'll start RM and then something will happen to her and then she'll go into a daze.
I know. It's like once I was in the airport and I was so convinced that I saw Rapmon and they're like, okay, she's gone mental. She really has gone mental.
I mean, she was just looking at the picture and explaining something to us, but then suddenly what she said and what happened in the picture was completely different. It showed how much she was so, overwhelmed with his presence in just a picture.
I know. But that guy, I swear that guy was so similar looking. I was so convinced that it was Rapmon. And they were like, yeah, rather sure. He left all the way from Korea. He's in the Pune airport. Yeah, just to see you.
Yeah. So
There's always a chance, we never know.
Anybody's having any plans to go to Korea. So I don't think that is like, has never not crossed our minds. We've always wanted to go there, given our chance, but because of the current pandemic, it's endless, our opportunity.
It's a misery. It's a real misery.
I mean, at least if we will have some, like Harry Potter apparition, we could like, we could like go.
Yeah, I know. I really wish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I managed to send my sister. She was lucky enough. She was participating in this art competition.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
I was like, go. I'll sponsor you. Just go. And then
yeah, you were like, kids and all for her. I remember you doing that during the class.
And then it was like, so basically I pulled her into the fandom as well. And she was like, but sad when she was there in Korea, they were actually gone for a while. So they were not there in Korea. But she was like, even to you breathe that air, you feel beautiful. Like you're just there and you feel so beautiful. So I was a little envious, but yeah, glad at least she got to go. One day I'll go. One day.
one day is like it will come to every one of us, hopefully.
Yeah.
And in some form, like at least even if it's not going to be exactly Korea, at least even in a different country, we could like because our team was like first to go to Singapore because we really wanted to go to Singapore, and K-pop artists usually frequent Singapore a lot, but now recently they've been going to Dubai a lot. So I hope that happens soon for everybody.
I think anywhere, right? Not just there. Just anywhere. I know.
So any other questions from, or we can end? So can okay, then can Bhavna and Radha just say a few words about how you felt?
I think Bhavna should go first.
Yeah, Bhavna.
You're putting me on spot now. Okay.
Yeah.
It was
I think I want to see her less then.
Yeah.
okay. No, it is great. It is great sharing. I mean, I loved listening to your stories as well, Radha.
Thank you.
Yeah, and your artwork was amazing as well. And Anusha and Nitya, you guys did a great job moderating the whole show and anchoring the whole show. Yeah.
Thank you.
Radha, nice.
Yeah, guys. I mean, seriously, like Bhavna said, you two made it more fun, and I think it just got me back to those days of at Inco and being with you guys and sharing the same love. It's just truly magical. I really, really miss those days.
I mean,
And
we all are from different lives, and once the word K-pop comes to our mind,
yeah,
we have like close friends who've been.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like literally like family. I
Yeah.
still remember those events they had. They organized, and then how it's like when I win one of those posters, I literally feel like I've won like that actual poster, and I'll be in that state of ecstasy, and it just got me back to those days. And I mean, thank you guys. I mean, it's just possible because of Inco and you guys. So thank you for that.
And
So
I was actually very anxious. Thank you for making me feel home.
Yeah.
Three of you.
But you did a really good job, Asha. Don't worry. You were much
Yeah.
natural that night, so don't worry.
Oh, please. You were so smooth in coordinating throughout. We've been planning for this to happen for so many months now. It kept postponing.
Yeah.
And
So I'm
finally
glad
it
this
happened.
happened finally to us. I had a really good time with all of us and coordinating with the three of you here. So you can visit the Inco Center website that Anusha had mentioned a little before, and also the social media in Instagram, Facebook, Inco Center. If you just type Inco Center, it's there, and there are a lot of events that is upcoming with them. So you can just if they've also pasted that on the comment section. So once. I'm just going to paste it in the comment section so everybody can find out the website, and you can just visit uh, that and look upcoming sessions. So thank you all for
Thank
joining.
you for
Thank you,
being a
guys.
lovely audience.
It was a lovely audience, and I think there are also people who tuning it through YouTube live.
Yeah, I mean, I should thank them as well, like for tuning in and taking time off.
Taking time
And
to see us for
yeah, and
experience.
listen to us fangirling and go high on our guys. So thank you to them as well.
I
And
think you guys also had a good time, fangirling together, like Radha said. And thank you, Inco, also to, giving us a platform to talk about our personal experience that, we only share it among friends. So this was a really nice experience for us to, share what we have inside our hearts, that fire inside about K-pops to, to everybody. Thank you.
And one meeting and we're all homies now. This is so
Yeah,
cool.
that's very true.
that's true. That's true. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.